Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Imperial Holonet. I am JID123, and today I am going solo, not Han Solo, haha, as we do something a little special, a little experiment, a little test, if you will. I'm going to do solo commentaries. That's right, commentaries all by my lonesome. I don't know if it's going to be the most boring thing ever or the most exciting thing ever. You decide. Hopefully, I can get other people to do this in the future. But for now, we're going to try this. Okay. So I'm gonna do commentaries on one of my favorite shows of all time, Once Upon a Time, a show I have complained about, criticized, and brutally characterized in terms of its production value and other things. But I still love this show to death. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. I was introduced to it back in 20 when it first came out. I'm already doing such a great job, aren't I? I think it was like 2012 when this first came out, and I've been watching it ever since. So, I'm just gonna make this simple for everybody. Go to Netflix, go to your DVDs, take out season one, take out the episode just called Pilot, a very original name, and begin. So, everybody, get your timestamp ready. I'll let you wait. Okay, everybody, and press play. Right, I'll be watching this on Netflix, by the way. So everybody, just press play right now. Here is the intro stamp. Whoa, 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 whoa. Once upon a time. See music playing in the background. There was an enchanted forest filled with all the classical characters we know. Or think we know. Ooh, we think mystery. One day they found themselves trapped in a place where all their happy endings were stolen. Our world. Our world. That's not good. This is how it happened. So I remember seeing trailers for this back in 012. First, I thought this was just some ripoff of that other Disney film that tried doing something like this. I think it was called Enchanted. Yeah, I think it was called Enchanted. Um, I did not prepare for this, people. Anyway, I saw commercials for this. A lot of the same footage we're seeing right now, actually, Prince Charming riding to save Snow White. But it was like a dark, serious version of that concept. So I was like mildly intrigued. I was looking to see Dopey. I like how they try right now to like emulate Disney, but also kind of stay original. This also came out, I believe, the same year. All those other Snow White ripoff films came out, so it was kind of interesting. This was like the year of Snow White, because let's face it, because a lot of those grim fairy tales are public domain, so you can do whatever with them. These actors and actresses are so good. Um, One thing I'll never criticize once for is the acting. It's either very hammy or very good. Just genuinely good. They're gonna do the famous kiss scene, break the curse. There's the magic. Prince Charming is played by Joss Dallas, and Snow White is Jennifer Goodwin, who I believe is pretty good casting overall. Gotta say. And they have a lot of good chemistry together. So much, in fact, that they actually are married in real life, and I believe have a child together. Um, so yeah, that's something. Tidbit. Look at the terrible CGI soundstage. But hey, it's TV. It's Doctor Who quality effects right here, people. But you gotta love the costumes. There's something. Grumpy. Here we go. Here's the star. Evil Queen, played by Lana Priya. She's just enjoying this role. This is what. If you listen to my Narnia commentary, I said that the queen there did not have enough ham. This is what I'm talking about. This is the ham I'm looking for. She's evil, she knows it, and she enjoys it. Oh, you gotta show Snow White's all tough, because, modern age. Which is good. Good to update. For anybody who's curious, the main writers, Eddie Kitsitz and Adam Horowitz, were writers on Lost, and you'll see. In fact, a lot of writers on Lost came for this show. So if anybody's a fan of Lost, you'll see a lot of Lost isms. The flashbacks being one of them. Um, I'm glad we start in the fairy tale world. Obviously, that's your hook. You don't want to start in like the modern day. Uh, Otherwise, it just looks boring. I love the Evil Queen's designs. You'll see more of them as the show goes on. It's over the top. It's ridiculous, but man, is it good. At least for this show. It's one of the things you have to have a very specific taste to like the show. Otherwise, it's just not for you. Um, of course, then as the show goes on, it all kind of goes downhill. The first season's really good, though. I'll argue. Up, we're gonna parallel that a lot. Him saying "Hey" all the time in the sword throwing. Um, that's one of these weird things about the show, though, is that sometimes it gets a little too modern, even in the fairy tale land. Like, do you really say a medieval person would say "Hey"? Like, really, "Hey"? Up, we're now in the modern world. There's little Henry. Henry, played by, get my information, Jared S. Gilmore, and he is now at least in his teen. He's 16 now. He's playing this role for a long time. Right now, he's 10 or maybe 11. It's kind of weird. He's so young. Wow, it's sort of like Harry Potter right there. When you go back and see the first book, like wow, they're so young. Here comes our main character, Emma, played by the one and only Jennifer Morrison. Sorry about that. Looking good in that pink dress, blonde hair. Yep, it's all good. I feel like if I was watching this firsthand, I got a little weirded out because now we're in modern day New York. No, Boston. It's Boston. Sorry, just a little weird. You're in 1 minute you're in medieval fairy tale land, the next you're in modern times. Oh, you'll get used to it hopefully as you watch the show. For any newcomers who are watching this through my commentary, I would hope that there are people who are doing this. If not, sorry. She's a bail bond person. Gotta get people who don't pay their debts. I wouldn't say the writing in the show is top notch. I would say if I want to make a comparison, it's like I guess it is Arrow season 1 for any superhero fans watching this show. I like to make that comparison a lot, even though I don't know Arrow as much as I do this show. I think Arrow and the show came out around the same time, maybe beforehand. I don't know. Up there's the creators. Rick Kitsit, Adam Horowitz. These and it was written. The pilot was written by this episode, of course. Written by them, of course. And here comes a weird chase scene. I have no idea what song they're playing at the moment because I have it on mute. There we go. Ooh, she said the F word. Nope, he said the F word, and I mean family for anybody who's not watching this in context. Because she's a loner. She has no family. Ooh, what does that mean? Yeah, subtlety is not the show's strongest point, people. Though strangely, this season is more subtle than the next one's coming up. Seasons, not episodes. The first season overall is definitely a lot subtler than the future seasons. But we'll get there one day. Hopefully, one day. This was in the trailer too. Are you Emma Swan? Yeah, who are you? That's another thing in the trailer. You know, it is in hindsight, you kind of wonder how a 10-year-old gets to Boston and sneaks out, even though they do explain it. Just, well, I guess, you know, he's a he's a tricky kid, so I guess I can buy it, maybe. I don't know. Henry sometimes comes off a little too adult, but maybe the circumstances allow me to buy it. Again, I never said this show was top notch, A plus Daredevil season 1 writing, people. At best, it's Arrow season 1 writing. Maybe a little lower. I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. And then it became something else later down the line, which we'll get into. So weird watching the first season and knowing where it's all going to go. I bet I'm just promoting you to watch the show just by my word, aren't I? Ah. You gotta love Henry got spunk. Gotta love it. Here it goes. The superpower. Emma's superpower. Which sometimes comes into effect, sometimes doesn't. I think Emma coming home with him is a little too easy, I think, maybe. Storybrooke. Get it, people? Storybrooke. I said the show wasn't subtle. But I love it still. Storybrooke. There we go, back to flashbacks. I always like the flashbacks more than the present day stuff, just on the whole. But obviously, you know, it's medieval, it's, you know, magical. It's the stuff we want to see. We really don't want any of this modern day people wearing suits. Which is funny because that's the entire concept of, you know, storybook characters in our world having to adjust. Um, or cursed to think they're modern day people. And that's a nice little baby. I forget what those words are, but those little unicorns and glass stuff. Sorry for anybody who's not watching this in context. I'm so glad that they fixed Snow's hair in the future episodes. Him? Ooh, done. You always know it's bad when they just say him and they don't say his name. Also, they retcon something here about why the queen's motivations. Here it's the traditional, she's prettier than the queen, but in the future episodes they'll go more into depth of why the evil queen's doing what she does. Sorry, I just get a little. I have nothing to say really about this scene right here. Just some good banter. They got good chemistry together. Yeah, I'm surprised more people don't think Henry's crazier and try to lock him up. Well, maybe not. I don't know. He is 10. I mean, I guess that's what Regina would want. Oh, spoilers for future. You gotta love how Henry's persistent. You gotta love that. Here we go. This is the scene that sold me on this show, or at least one of them. Scenes from season 2 did that as well. Rumpelstiltskin, everybody's favorite character, and mine. Yes, I am a Stiltskin fanboy. Sue me. But look at this guy. Look at Robert Carlyle. He just plays it so well. Again, this is what I'm talking about when I said about hamming it up. This is the kind of ham you want. You know you're in a ridiculous situation, but you're going to take it seriously and you're going to just play it up all the way. Oh, and you just can tell this guy has power. Like he's locked up in this cell, and yet he's enjoying it. He's enjoying what's going on. He's not scared. He's not angry. He's just insanely happy. And you'll find out why later. But you just gotta love, like, you can tell this guy he's in control of this conversation. Even from behind the bars, he is just completely in control of the conversation. Name of the unborn child. That names. Remember, if you know the traditional Rumpelstiltskin tale, it's all about names. The makeup on him is pretty good too. This is probably my favorite scene in the entire episode. But I guess I'm a Rumpelstiltskin biased person. And he's pretty much explaining the plot here. It's a little exposition-y, but the way it's done is really fun. Love just the way he acts. Every move, he just plays it like a goblin creature. Ooh, I even love the way the clothes on him just kind of crickle and crack. Like a crocodile. He's a crocodile. Hardcore fans will know what I'm talking about right now. Oh, I just love the way they play it. Got a bit of a Joker vibe to him. Mixed with a little Hannibal Lecter, I guess, since he's in the cell. Oh, I love it. Now that final battle thing is something that I don't know. There's a lot of fans have interpreted differently depending on what they think. I don't want to spoil too much for future seasons, although there will be future season spoilers, I guess, throughout, because I'll probably forget my policies. No, I think it's a boy. It's a girl. It's Emma. Dun dun dun. Yeah, we didn't see that coming a mile away. Yeah, when you think about it hard, the whole family dynamic thing gets kind of creepy. But right now, we don't have to think about that. Here we are, famous Storybrooke. Ah, there's Tinkerbell. I remember when they just referenced stuff before they had to shove down every single Disney character. Or I guess fairy tale character, because it's technically not always Disney. It wasn't actually. Season 5 actually introduced some non Disney characters. No, wait, season 6. Ah, no, wait, season 5 too. Season 5 too. I take that back. I take that back. That was also in the trailer, that scene. Pretty much the basic combat. Evil Queen, curse, real world. Simple enough. Got really complicated later. I must be just really riveting you to watch the rest of the series. And for anybody who can't tell, that's Jiminy Cricket, or Archie, as he is known in the real world. They did get a good actor though. You can just see I can see him playing a live action Jiminy Cricket. They got the glasses, got the hair, gonna have the crickety like face. He just needs a top hat. Oh, there's Pongo. See, that's another thing I like about the early seasons. They kind of referenced the Disney stuff, but they never went like it never went like just full on. We're cosplayers as Disney characters. Add more of a somewhat originality. With it was Disney influenced for sure, and it definitely was. It is on ABC, so it's gonna be Disney, but it wasn't like full blown. We're taking it straight out of the cartoon. I mean the movie. A few things did, but never to a full extent. I love Emma's yellow VW bug. In the commentary in this episode, they said that it's supposed to be like a symbol of like the first real bright color that came to this town for 28 years. It is definitely bright compared to the other colors, so I'll give him that. Yep. Yeah, that's another thing this show has. It always kind of really signifies their message a little too on the nose with like little things like giving into your dark side never solved anything. It's always a little like we're spelling out the message for you, and it's something that even season 1 did. See, by the time you get to season 5, it's like we're just basically just spouting one-liners and the message at this point. A little over romantic-y, I know. And but once you see the rest of this season, especially this season, I feel like I appreciate it more of how they'll all just we'll always find each other kind of thing. The blue fairy. A lot of these designs changed. Red's outfits changed. Granny definitely changed as the season progressed. It's the pilot, so a lot of things are gonna be different. I do like Charming's outfit though. Good design. Trust me, I know it seems fanficky, and it is. But that's kind of the weird charm about the show, at least for some people. It's It's basically fairy tale fan fiction put on screen, kind of like Kingdom Hearts. Maybe that's why I like the show. It just reminds me of Kingdom Hearts in a lot of ways. Um, but instead of different worlds, it's all worlds. It's one world. And I guess Emma is the Sora of this, but yet, if Sora were related to a Disney character, I suppose. Now, Henry, that's not true. At least it won't be in later. Uh, here's the human version of Queen Regina. For anybody who didn't like Regina this season, don't worry. She gets a lot better. She's the only good thing about this series at this point. Um, it's kind of interesting looking back. Some of it says in the subtitles, British accent. Ah, the Sheriff Graham. I'll just say that and leave your imagination to picture what happens next. Unless you keep going with me. Sorry, I just don't have much to say about this particular scene. Guess I could talk about adoption and stuff, but I don't know much about that. Sheriff's at the mayor's house. It's a nice house, though. Look at all those books. I wonder if any of them are actual real. Probably not. Curious how much the set has changed since season 1. Yeah, you can tell Regina's one of those high-strung kind of parents. Okay, that's a little on the nose. Again, Once Upon a Time, not known for its subtlety. Yeah, gotta love Regina's passive aggressiveness. Yeah. And Emma starts to head back. Raining, of course it is. A lot of Destiny stuff right here. I don't think you should call your 10-year-old that. Emma, just saying. Ooh, the wolf. What does it mean? What does the wolf mean? Yeah, there's a lot of that too. Again, these were the writers of Lost. A lot of Lostisms in the show, people. And the book just happens to open. Is okay. This is kind of silly, but I don't know. It's magic. I guess I can forgive it. There's the tree. Magic portal tree. Yeah, magic in this show is like whatever you need it to be, as long as it solves the plot. It's like the sonic screwdriver in Doctor Who. It didn't used to get so. It didn't used to be as bad in the first season. It got worse later on. Earlier season, I think the magic was handled nicely. Not too much, not too little, just the right amount. It kind of does make you wonder. The queen did wait for a baby to be born before she struck her curse. I mean, granted, they do fill that in later, but not in a very satisfying way. Yeah, some of this romance is kind of cheesy. What's 28 years when you having turtle love? Again, I buy their relationship later down the line. Right now, it's just kind of overly romantic for the sake of overly romantic. And it happens to be born the minute the curse starts to come. Of course it does. I never said the pilot was the best episode this season. Black Smoke, again, this is Lost People. These are the Lost People. It's here in the ring. There's the famous theme. Of course, he's whistling whistle while he works. There's a lot of subtle, no, maybe not subtle, but a lot of Disney Easter eggs for the Disney fans out there. There's Marco, aka Geppetto. They got a good actor for him. He looks like he could play Geppetto. And now you start to see how the curse affects the town. He doesn't have a son. Grumpy's in jail. Actually, I could buy that even without a curse. Each little cursed life they have is sort of, I think, nicely done for the character that's been cursed. Gotta love Emma's spunk here too. Okay, here's some good intuition. So he's a bail bond person. She finds people. That I think that was a good use of her skills, especially for this episode. See, back then they used to let the people solve the problems instead of just magically having like insert magic potion that will solve the problem. Who's your mama.org? I don't know if well, 10-year-olds these days are getting smarter and clever. Maybe, I don't know. Ah, of course, Snow White the teacher. Sometimes I think, no, I think it works. Again, the show is not about subtlety. That is a very fake looking bird. And it's blue, of course it is. Oh, that's fake. That's some fake CGI right there. Those eyebrows. She got those trimmed later seasons. Like I keep telling you folks, it's a pear instead of an apple. I find that funny. Again, folks, subtlety, not this show's strong point. She wants to say birth mother, but Regina's like, no way. You ain't using those words. I've always said the acting was good, and I stick by that. He's lonely. He's still kind of lonely. He doesn't really hang out with in the future seasons. I feel like that's something that got dropped later. You know, it never. Well, they kind of do. It's still kind of weird that Henry was the one who figured it all out. I mean, I guess he's 10, and there's definitely some things that they explain and don't explain. Sorry, this is just me looking back at the show of what once used to be. Nice one. Nice one, Snow. See, this is what I'm talking about, the creepiness of the family thing. Like, she's 28, Emma's 28, she's probably around that age, maybe a little older, maybe a little younger, I don't know. But the fact that they don't age, kind of weird. It's gonna get weirder, I promise you. The family dynamics in this show is like one messed up thing. I'm not even gonna try and spoil it. I'm just gonna tell you it's messed up, but it is hilarious how messed up it is. Pregnancy. Pregnancy in the Middle Ages. Probably the most painful thing you will ever have to endure as a woman in that time. This is a good shot. I love the forest they get. I think it's the Canadian forest. The Canadian forest. Somewhere in Canada. I know they get a lot of filming in Canada. Ooh, this is a good shot. I like seeing Knight just run as the curse cloud comes and engulfs the land. The castle looks so Disney-ish. It looks like a Disney castle. I guess it's supposed to be based off the one from Snow White, the animated movie. Up there's the Emma's blanket, the wardrobe. I wonder if that's a reference to the line "The Witch in the Wardrobe." You hear the screams of the men dying. Yeah, I do kind of question sending a baby on its own on just hope alone. But I guess that's the fairy tale aspect of the show. It is technically a fairy tale. I don't know. Maybe. It's questionable parenting, but then again, as the show goes on, questionable parenting skills. Sorry, folks, if you hear anything in the background, I am getting a pizza. It looks good too. Of course, you're gonna cry if you lose your baby. And by lose, I mean put it in the wardrobe. Ooh. This show used to be brutal. I used to forgot how brutal this show used to be. Ooh, now this is a good action scene. This is good right here. Fighting a baby in one... Holding a baby... No, fighting a baby. Yep, fighting a baby. Holding a baby in one arm while fighting a bunch of goons. That's some talent right there. Fun fact, they actually were going to kill off Prince Charming in the pilot. Thankfully, they did not. Well, at least for the first season, thankfully. Find us. Yes, that's gonna... Again, I question this, because, you know, it's a baby. You're sending a baby on its own. What's it gonna do? I mean, I guess it worked out, but... Again, I guess that's that fairy tale aspect of the show. Boom. Man grunting. He slowly dims as he knows his child is in a world far, far away. To who knows where. I wonder. There's Henry's little hiding area. It looks like a castle. Again, subtle, not. Yeah. Maybe, again, some of these lines a little. Maybe a little too much. Even for these people. Even for this kid. Maybe, I don't know. Probably. Yeah, they do this a lot where they say something in the future and they say something in the past and they, like, just by coincidence, you say the same thing. It's kind of weird. You're gonna get that a lot. It's very much, we spell it out for you. Thankfully, season one didn't do that as much as the rest of the season, as the rest of the as the other seasons did. And the better episodes actually, I think, at least made it charming. I don't know. There's some things I'm willing to forgive the show because I feel like it's in its own little bubble of just odd. But it's my kind of odd. At least it started out that way. I think that line was retconned in a future season. I don't know. Yep, there's something. I'm not sure. Wait, I think the book tells him that, so that's why he probably knows why. She dragged her way with a pregnant, still after pregnancy. Ooh, I'm surprised she lived. I mean, I guess she got cursed, so I guess that's why she. I think this all works better when you finally flesh everything out. You gotta love the ham. So much hamminess. In fact, all the actors kind of ham it up in one way or another. Yeah. Gotta admire the optimism of the show, at least in the first season. Kind of that good role always wins, kind of like that Kingdom Hearts is light kind of a thing going on. Again, I'll probably make more Kingdom Hearts comparisons as the commentaries move forward. Uh, this was in the trailer too. Ooh, this is some bad CGI. And there goes Henry. Ooh, showdown. Cat fight coming. Emma's trying to be nice. Man, the coloring in this episode is so weird compared to how it looks now. I mean, I guess it was a couple of years ago. We're now in like season 6 to season 1, so they've had time to upgrade or downgrade. I don't know. I actually like the coloring in the earlier seasons a bit more, if we're honest. Though I think it changes drastically even from the pilot. And that's a theme that's going to continue out for at least a good couple seasons. I mean, Regina's got a point to a degree. You just really can't just toss somebody, you give up a kid, and they just want to expect to come back in their lives again. Lop-de-doo. I mean, I guess in this case, not all of this situation involve curses and fairy tales and magic. So, you know, I think Regina could have been a little more subtle. Did you have to use the word destroy? You could say things happened a little too quickly. Yeah, again, there's that subtlety, folks. Or not subtlety. Snow White's helping out in the hospital. I mean, Mary Margaret. That's her Storybrooke name. Prince Charming. He's in a coma. And they just happen to know each other through that coma. Fun fact, that clock tower was actually CGI'd on. That's not real. And it's at the same time as as in Peter Pan when Peter lands on the Big Ben. That's another fun fact for anybody. There's Red Riding Hood and Granny. Emma's. Oop. Yeah, this is another thing that hooked me. Seeing Rumpelstiltskin again. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's him. You can tell just by the hair. But you can just tell just the way he looks, just the way he acts. There's some deeper thoughts going on in that mind of his. You can just tell all the strings, and you can see the gears moving. All the strings he's probably about to pull. The way everybody just kind of stops. I just love it, the fear. I love it back not knowing where we knew who Rumpelstiltskin was or not, who we didn't know who he was at the time. Just so there was so much mystery, so much potential. Notice how that clock the clock moved. It moved. And Henry just gives that big grin of his. Yeah, he knows something's up. He knows. And with that, folks, that was the first episode of Once Upon a Time, aka the pilot. That was a solo commentary. I'm sure I stunk somehow. Or not, maybe you enjoyed it. If you did, tell me. Like, subscribe. Look at my channel. Look at Nero Cole's channel. Look at Red Leader and Tilly's channel. Until next time, I'm not sure if I'm going to do this more any more of this or not. I probably will. I hope to get more people though, 'cause I do like this show and I like talking about it. So until next time, later.